Hello everybody, welcome to Inspirational Monday. This is Stephen E. for those who are new to this channel. The one thing that I want to talk about today is that everything that glitters is not necessarily gold. And what I'm going to relate this topic to is sometimes how we get into relationships or friendships or or these partnerships, and it doesn't match up or it doesn't align up with the energy that we're projecting. Because I've talked about energy on the last couple of videos, and I talked about it on a law of attraction video that like attracts like, and when like does not attract like, you have this combustion that just it's a force that's just not going to come together. It's a force that's just not going to work. So when we're specific about what we want, now for an example, say in a relationship, like if you know the type of woman that you want, and you know that this is the kind of mindset that you want in a woman, this is the kind of go-getter you want in a woman or a man, for the women who are watching this channel, and you settle for somebody that does not align up with your vision. Like, for instance, you want a woman, you want kids, you want to live here, you want to make this kind of money, you want this type of relationship, you want to go out every weekend and stuff. And then you meet a woman that says, I don't want to get married, I don't want kids, I don't want this type of relationship, I just want to hit it or quit it kind of thing and stuff like that. That doesn't align up with what you just put out there. So why are you settling for that when you know that your vision is this and you've got this in mind for your vision? Now, this also goes along with your life. If you have a vision for your life, if you know that you want to be a chef, that you want to be a lawyer, that you want to be a doctor, but you settle for something else because of convenience, and it doesn't match up with what you have, and then your energy is low and you're in a miserable place, you're not in a good place, and things just don't match up and things don't seem to be coming together, is because you are settling for something that you are not aligning with. And you have to be very careful of that, because it will drain the energy of you. So you have to know that you are worthy of the things that you want, and you can't settle for second, third, fourth, or fifth best, or just settle because it's just there or it's convenient. Now, I had a friend that was in a relationship, and my friend wanted kids, wanted a family, wanted to live here and such, and then the person that they allowed to come in did not match up with their vision. Everything that glitters isn't gold. So when they started to open the package, they started to see that there was all this junk that was in the package, but the outside of the package looked real good. The outside of the package was pretty, and you got to be careful of pretty. Everything that's pretty is not beautiful. Just like everything that's everything that glitters is not gold. Everything that's pretty is not beautiful. So we got to stop looking at the outside of the package and start digging in the box and seeing what's in the box. Why settle for something that you don't want? Why be involved in something that you don't want for yourself or you don't want for your life? Because you're doing yourself an injustice. Say, like, if you're with a person and you know this person doesn't align up with your vision and stuff, and you think you're going to change that person, which it's not your responsibility to change that person, but you're going to take on that task. So I'm just telling you, if you take on those types of tasks, you're going to get what you asked for. If you take on those types of tasks, not good. Do not take on that type of task. A person has to want to change themselves. And if that person has one vision and you have another vision, a recipe for destruction. So what we need to start doing is lining ourselves up, being clear about our vision, and being clear about the type of person that we want in our lives, the type of employment and career that we want. We have to start being specific, and we need to start moving in those directions. And then when something is coming into your space and it don't match up, keep it moving, because I don't have time to waste on that, because I'm trying to get to here. I'm trying to get to this space right here. And if you're in here and you're in my space and taking up my time and my energy, not good at all. You have other places where you need to be focusing your energy. You need to be focusing on your energy on the things that you want, the relationships that you want. Energy. Remember, everything that glitters isn't gold. Everything that's pretty isn't beautiful. And I talked about the blame game probably a month ago in a video, how we constantly blame this one, blame that one, blame that one. Now, when you get into these types of relationships that do not align up with what you're seeking and stuff, the blame has to become, you have to own some of that blame. You have to own kind of a lot of that blame in order to be able to get past it and move on. Because if you're constantly blaming someone else but not looking towards your system or towards you and what you contributed to that happening, because we all contribute to a certain part in our lives, whether somebody's in our lives and we don't want them in our lives, if we're working in a career and that's not the career that we want, but we settled for this one because whether it was money, the hours were convenient, and it's comfortable. And sometimes comfortable isn't good either. Sometimes comfortable isn't good, because sometimes comfortable is your route to destruction. So you have to own the situation that you're in. You have to take responsibility for the situation that you're in. You have to take responsibility if someone's in your space and you don't want them in your space, because sometimes we're looking for that pretty package, but sometimes what we ask for is inside the other package. When you start digging down, when you start looking into a person's character, when you look into a relationship, you shouldn't only just look at the exterior. You should also look at a person's character, because character is going to tell it all. Character is going to eventually come to the surface. Everything comes to the surface. Look at a person's character. Look whether how, like, if you're with a if you're with your woman, look how they treat you. Look if they're there for you. Look how they treat their kids. If there's someone who has kids, look how they are as a person. Listen to how they speak about themselves, how they speak about others. Like if you're in a restaurant and they're talking and if they're gossiping and all this other stuff, listen to a person and trust your instincts. Now, if you're with a brother and stuff, see how he treats his mother, how he treats his sister, how he treats his aunts, how he treats his daughters, if he has any kids and stuff like that, because everything that's in that package is eventually going to tell the tale of the story. Okay, don't settle. Don't settle. You do not have to settle. If that means you have to wait a little bit longer, wait a little bit longer. If that means that you have to make some adjustments on you, make some adjustments on you. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to settle. If you got dreams for yourself, you only here on this earth for God knows how many, only God knows how much time that you're here on this earth. So while you're here on this earth, put yourself to work for yourself. And do not settle. And this goes for your jobs too. Now, I spoke about this in 2 other videos. Job. Just over broke. If that job is not the job that you want for yourself and you want something else for yourself, then stop giving 8 hours a day of your energy to that job and start giving 8 hours a day to the job that you want to go into, the field that you want to work into, the passion, the desires, the purpose that you want to achieve for yourself, because that's where that time is going to be better spent, building up you and building up your life and building up your dreams and desires. Put the energy into you. Now, I'm going to do some more videos in the next few weeks about energy and law of attraction and stuff like that. So I hope this is resonating with somebody, at least one person. My job here is to help one person. If I've helped one person, then I've done my job. Please give this video a thumbs up. The thumbs up helped me. And please share this video with anybody you think it will inspire to get to their greatness. And as always,